Good morning, students. Last class we have discussed up to borax and the uses of this borax and preparation. So today we are moving towards to important compound boric acid, which is very important, and its reaction and preparation and uses are repeated questions in public exams. So first, how boric acid can be prepared? So it has been prepared from borax and colemanite. So borax hydrolyzed with the sulfuric acids, you will get sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus boric acid H3BO3. Similarly, colemanite Ca2B6O11, it's hydrolyzed with sulfuric acid, you will get calcium persulfate and boric acid. And when back to the properties of boric acid, it's a colorless, transparent crystal, and it's very weak monobasic acid. It's very important, very weak monobasic acid. It does not act like normal acid. It will not give H plus ion, but it will act as a Lewis acid. It accepts hydroxyl ion from base, so that's why it has been called as acid. Remember, it's not protonic acid. It's accept OH minus from base. For example, BOH3 reacts with water, gives H3O plus BOH4 minus. So it reacts with sodium hydroxides, forms sodium metaborate and sodium tetraborate. Action of heat: when boric acid is heated to 373 Kelvin, it gives metaboric acid, and further gives tetraboric acid. When heated to red hot, it gives boric anhydride, which is a glassy mass. See this equation. And H3BO3 gives first HbO2, then H2B4O7, then finally B2O3. This is called boric acid anhydride. An action of ammonia. This is important questions. When boric acid reacts with ammonia in up to 1000 degree Kelvin, it forms boron nitrate. When boric acid reacts with ethanol, it forms trialkyl borates. The trialkyl borate and reacts with sodium nitrate gives tetrahydrofuran to form a coordination compound which acts as a powerful reducing agent, NaBHOR3, and formation of boron trifluoride. Similarly, boric acid reacts with the calcium fluoride, forms boron trifluoride, and so it reacts with sodium carbonate, gives again its original compound borax. And structure of boric acids. So boric acid is a trigonal planar geometry, BO3 3 minus. It has been this unit has been linked with hydrogen bonds. See the figures. There are a lot of hydrogen bonds are there between this boric acid between the molecules. And this is a classical example of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. And the uses of boric acids. This boric acid is used in manufacture of pottery glasses, enamels, and pigments. It has been used in antiseptic and eye lotion and food preservative. And this boric acid is important in 3 mark questions: preparation of boric acid and acidic nature of boric acid, this one, and preparation of boric acid and reaction of ammonia and reaction of so alcohols are very important questions and repeatedly has been asked in public exams. So just go through it carefully. So the next boron compound which we are going to discuss is diborane. It's a very important compound. This diborane can be prepared by action of metal hydrates with sodium metal hydrates with the boron, and it's a classical method which we have discussed in the earlier chapters. And laboratory, it has been prepared from sodium borohydrate and iodine reacts with together and forms diborane and sodium iodide and hydrogen gas. And heating of magnesium borate and with HCl gives volatile borates and magnesium chloride. Similarly, B4H6 can be reduced with hydrogen, gives B2H6. So its properties: so boranes are a colorless diamagnetic compounds, important diamagnetic, and have very low thermal stability. And diboranes get room temperature with sweet smell and extremely toxic and highly exothermic and reacts with oxygen, gives enormous amount of heat. And this is when you are heating with the diborane with different conditions, we are getting different type of compounds. For example, in 388 Kelvin we get B5H11, and 198 Kelvin we get B4H10. In 373 Kelvin we will get B10H14, and above 500 degrees Celsius you get B5H9, and B5H9 with B5H10. It's like a disproportionation. So whenever we are increasing the temperature, we will get different type of patterns and different type of fraction of boron compounds. And when it's heat to red hot, it gives borane plus 3 hydrogen. when diborane reacts with water or base, it gives respective its boric acid and sodium metaborate. For example, B2H6 reacts with water, gives boric acid and hydrogen, and similarly B2H6 reacts with the base, gives sodium metaborate. Action of air. These are important 2 mark questions. When diborane react with the oxygen, gives boric anhydride with enormous amount of heat. See the delta H value minus 2165 kilojoules per mole. That's why it's highly exothermic and it has been used as a fuel for in industrial purpose. Similarly, diborane reacts with methanol, gives trialkyl methoxy boranes with hydrogens. And this we have been already discussed in hydrocarbons, preparation of alcohols and hydrocarbon anti-Marconi of Edison. You might have remembered that when diboranes reacts with alkenes, it leads to the formation of alkyl borates, and further hydrolysis gives alcohols and it forms anti-Marconi of Edison. And similarly, ionic hydrides reacts with the diboranes, gives lithium borohydrides and sodium borohydrides. For example, B2H6 reacts with LiH, gives LiBH4. B2H6 reacts with sodium hydride, gives sodium borohydride. And reactions of ammonia, boric acid as well as diborane, both is very important to reaction towards ammonia. In case of diborane reacts with ammonia, it forms complex kind of species like 3B2H62NH3, that is further react with ammonia at high temperature, forms borosol or borosine, which has been called as inorganic benzene. As this is an important 1 mark. Inorganic benzene, what's the compound name of inorganic benzene is borosine. It has been prepared from diborane reacts with ammonia. So now we are going to discuss the structure of diborane. You just carefully look at the structure. So whatever the information which we are going to from the structure, that is the important 3 mark questions. So you just look at the structure. See, here one boron is there. Here one boron, here 2 hydrogens, and these are another 2 hydrogens, and this here up below and above hydrogen is there. So this is called as terminal hydrogens, and this is called as bridging hydrogens. So in the diborane molecule, 4 terminal hydrogens are there, 2 bridging hydrogens are there. So this bridging hydrogens bond is called as banana bond. See, just look like it's shaped like banana shape. So that's why it has been called as banana bond. And this has been called as 3 center 2 electron bond. It's not that much strong bond. It's a very weak bond. So that is a reason why it's more reactive with the oxygen, highly exothermic. So this is a 3 center 2 electron bond. This is 2 center 2 electron bond. So overall, you look at the structure, there are 2 BH2 bonds are there and 2 BHB bonds are there. BHB, 2 BHB bonds and 2 BH2 bonds are there. So in 12 valence electrons are not sufficient to form normal covalent. So that's why 4 terminal are normal covalent, 2 center 2 electron bond. The remaining 4 electrons has to be used for hydrogen bonds, and that's why I told you this is 3 center 2 electron bond. And this all at the bridging hydrogen atoms are in the plane. In diborane, the boron is sp3 hybridization. So previous boron compounds are sp2, and this diborane, this boron is sp3 hybridized, which means tetrahedral bond. Here 2 off-filled these 3 of 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals containing single electron, and the 4th orbital is empty. 2 of the off-filled hybridized orbitals of each boron overlap with 2 hydrogens for its form. 2 center 2 electrons forms, leaving 1 empty one and 1 off-filled hybridized orbitals on the boron, and 3 center 2 electron bonds are formed. The off-filled hybridized orbital of one boron and empty hybridized orbital of other borons form another bridging bonds. See, this is sp3 hybridized. So 2 sp3 has been involved to form terminal hydrogens, and these 2 sp3 involve formation of terminal hydrogens. 1 sp3 and off-filled of another one, and here 1 sp3 and off-filled of another one, both forms. So look at the structure carefully. This is sp3 hybridized with 2 center 2 electron bond. One of the sp3 and off-filled of hydrogens both reacts forms banana bond, which means 3 center 2 electron bond. Similarly, another one sp3 is remaining, so that sp3 and reacts with this hydrogens forms of 3 center 2 electron bond. Similarly, the same trends follows with this boron also. 2 sp3 is 2 center 2 electron bond, 1 sp3 half of this hydrogen reacts with banana bond, and 1 sp3 and half of with this hydrogen forms another banana bond. And back to the uses of diborane. It has been highly energy fuel for propellant, and I told you it has been used as an industrial fuel and reducing agent in organic chemistry and used as a welding torches. So another important compound is boron trifluoride. So this boron trifluoride has been prepared from reacts with the boric unreacted with the calcium fluoride. It forms boron trihydride BH3. That has been further reacts with the fluorine, forms boron trifluoride. In the laboratory, pure BF3 is prepared by the thermal decomposition of benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate PHN2BF4, and its heats use boron trifluoride plus followed by fluorobenzene and nitrogen. And this boron trifluoride has a planar geometry, sp2 hybridization, and it's an electron deficient compound, and accepts electron pairs to form coordinate covalent bonds. They form complex type of BX4 minus, and these all act as a very good Lewis acid. When boron trifluoride hydrolyzed, gives boric acid in HF, and this another HF. This boric acid is further reacts with this hydrogen fluoride, forms tetrafluoroborate ion plus H plus, and that has been used for the preparation of hydrofluoroboric acid. Used as a catalyst in organic chemistry. It is also used as a fluorinating agent. So that's our finish up. We have finished up to boron compounds. So next class we will discuss about next elements, aluminum and its important compounds. Thank you.